Hello and welcome to Play PKN, the weekly video update of what's making headlines on packagingnews.com.au, the media hub for Australia's packaging industry. I'm Lindy Hewson and here are this week's top stories. So half-year reporting has begun and two of our biggest packaging players have released some results. For Amcor, with the Bemis acquisition bedding down and synergies starting to be realised, the news is positive and an upwards adjustment of 4.4% or 700 million to its EBIT has been made. For Orora, its North American business is lagging, causing some challenges, but the good news for the Australian market comes from its beverages division, which has seen a sales growth of 2.4%, driven mostly by the switch for brands to glass and to cans, particularly to cans for the craft brew sector. Orora is also investing 50 million in its ongoing refurbishment. This is the second phase of its refurbishment of its Gawler glass facility, with glass remaining an important pillar of the business. Orora is one of the biggest suppliers of glass, one of the two big suppliers of glass in the Australian market, the other being OI. And in this week's release, we look, thanks to Paul Allen of Margin Partners, we take a closer look at what the buyer of the OI ANZ assets, which are up for sale, as you know from previous reports, will be in for. Some challenges, it certainly seems, as there's been a downturn in domestic demand for glass. And the ANZ division, which forms a major part of the Asia Pacific division, has had a dip in performance, just reported. From the Australian packaging machinery sector, the great news this week comes from Mark Emmett. Mark Emmett is the owner of HMPS, a case packaging machinery manufacturer. He has bought Propac Industrial, a vertical form fill seal machinery manufacturer, based out of Sydney. For Mark, he sees this as a fantastic opportunity to grow both businesses, and he says that they'll be operating synergistically yet independently. So HMPS has got a good global footprint in the Southeast Asia market, with Propac Industrial having a footprint with a number of installations in the US market. So there'll be a great opportunity for cross-selling there. A good strategic investment by Mark Emmett. One last highlight that hit the news desk today is a smart packaging innovation that comes from Danone. Danone, global food giant, specialist also in baby formula. And on its baby formula packs, it has introduced a dual QR code track and connect technology. It's going to launch it first in China and later this year in Australia and New Zealand. On one of the brands in particular is Aptamil, that will be well known to all. Here's how it works. So in simple terms, there's a QR code printed on the outer pack and a QR code printed on the behind a tamper-evident feature on the actual pack, which can only be accessed once a consumer has bought it. So on scanning the outer pack code, you get assurance of authentication and information about the provenance, where the product was made and how it's tracked down the supply chain. But once you get access to that inner code, the consumer can potentially have firstly a unique authentication, and down the line, Danone plans to give consumers information that it's more of a more personalized nature, information about ingredients, possibly recipes, and other such things. But more importantly, for Danone, for its distributors and for retailers, this now gives them access to important data about consumer demand and shopping habits. Well, that's all we have time for today. That's it from me, Lindy Hewson. For more news, go to packagingnews.com.au.